When FNaF 2 came out in 2014, just a couple months after the first game, I was pretty excited, and honestly a little nervous. The first game had already freaked me out, but this one, it felt different. With new animatronics, new camera setups, and even new systems, suddenly there was so much to keep track of, and every night felt like chaos. I remember that feeling of panic for the first time, and it was unforgettable. Today I'm breaking down why FNaF 2 wasn't just a sequel, it may just be the perfect follow-up to FNaF 1. So hey everybody, I'm Jeeps, and if you love diving into FNaF like I do, hit subscribe and join the journey to 1K subscribers. And with that said, let's begin. Starting off, there are many areas of FNaF 2 that are crucial to explore, but one of the most impactful has to be its gameplay. And for good reason too. The game introduced over a dozen animatronics, leaving you juggling multiple threats as the night progressed. Your office is completely open with vents to your left and right, and a long hallway straight ahead. Unlike FNaF 1, where closing doors could keep you safe until your power ran out, FNaF 2 gives you no truly safe space, unless you have a spare Freddy mask. The mask tricks some animatronics like Toy Chica into thinking you're one of them, but others like Withered Foxy require special strategies, usually flashing the lights down the hallway. And then there's the puppet, whose music box you have to wind starting on night 1, and if it runs out, it's instant death. This system forces you to split your attention, adapt strategies for different threats, and constantly make decisions under pressure. It's not just harder than the first game, it's smarter, more chaotic, and it paved the way for future FNaF titles to experiment with dynamic difficulty and multi-layered mechanics. So all of these mechanics together make FNaF 2 feel completely chaotic and tense. Surviving isn't just about skill, it's about thinking fast and adapting on the fly. And that chaos, it's what makes the world feel alive, like something could get you at any moment. It's part of why Sister Location's trailer defines FNaF 2 as panic. The gameplay alone doesn't make FNaF 2 unforgettable, it's the atmosphere, or at least partially. I covered in my last video on FNaF 1 just how much atmosphere affects a horror game's design. While FNaF 2 doesn't quite reach the same level of ambience, certain aspects of its atmosphere are crucial to the experience, and here's why. From the moment you're placed in the office, a few things instantly stand out. The fan blowing, the strange heaviness in the air, and the breathing you hear when you put on the Freddy mask. Small details, but they build tension over the first night. Then there's the cameras. Flipping through them, you'll notice areas like the prize corner with its music box. The tunes are light, carnival style, almost playful, but the first time you hear them, it's gut-wrenching. There's an ironic uneasiness in an environment that's supposed to feel safe for kids. Add to that iconic hallway ambience whenever an animatronic is nearby, and it's easy to see how the game keeps tension high, even years after a release. Beyond audio cues, the open office design makes you feel constantly vulnerable. Darkness surrounds you, and the number of threats has increased dramatically compared to the first game's 4 animatronics. Combine that with the children-themed pizzeria and the hostile toy animatronics, and the atmosphere itself amplifies the panic you feel during gameplay. It's this combination, audio, environment, and gameplay that makes the atmosphere in FNaF 2 so effective, and part of what truly elevates it as a sequel. But honestly, although the atmosphere is a key aspect of FNaF 2's design, there's one part of the game that truly drives the panic and chaos, and that's the animatronics themselves. Now I know I keep bringing this up, but FNaF 2 having 12 animatronics compared to FNaF 1's 4 is a massive jump. You're suddenly dealing with 3 times the enemies, and instead of just flipping lights and closing doors, you're juggling completely different strategies. That's a steep difficulty curve, especially when you realize this game dropped only 2 months after the first one. Yeah, I found that out while writing this video, and it still blows my mind. It's actually pretty cool. Anyway, FNaF 2's roster can be split into 3 groups: the Withered Animatronics, the Toy Animatronics, and the Special Entities. The Withered Animatronics are your classic crew: Withered Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, and Foxy. They're broken, aggressive, and each has their own unique way of making your night miserable, but we'll get into that after the others. Next are the Toy Animatronics: Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, Toy Freddy, Balloon Boy, and Mangle, who was originally meant to be Toy Foxy before the kids absolutely destroyed it. These versions look cuter, but they're no less terrifying once you know how they behave. And finally, the Special Entities. You've got the Puppet, Golden Freddy, and even rare characters like Shadow Bonnie or Shadow Freddy, but those don't really affect the game very much. I'll cover them later. I know that's a lot of animatronics, but that's exactly what makes FNaF 2 so intense. Every new threat adds another layer of panic, and somehow that chaos just makes the experience better. Now when it comes to how they attack, their mechanics can be split into 3 main approaches: vent attackers, hallway attackers, and unique cases that could be both or neither. Characters that attack through the vents include Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Balloon Boy, and Mingle, each using different vents to reach you. The only characters that come straight down the hallway are Toy Freddy, Withered Freddy, and Withered Foxy, who specifically has to be repelled with a flashlight since the Freddy mask won't fool him. You may also occasionally see, in rare occasions, Golden Freddy appear here as well. And outside of both the hall and the vents, the puppet will appear if you fail to wind the music box, and Golden Freddy has a rare chance of materializing directly in your office. The animatronics and their mechanics added a ton of layers to FNaF 2's difficulty, but that's exactly what made it feel so unique for its time. This kind of chaotic overlapping gameplay was something new back then, and honestly, it's what sparked the fanbase that we still see today. But beneath all of that chaos and tension, there's something deeper holding FNaF 2 together: its story. Specifically the clues, the hidden details, and the secrets buried behind each minigame. This is where the best parts of FNaF 2 begin, all beneath the surface. FNaF 2 was a major turning point in defining the series' lore. These were the early days, before the story got complicated, where now if you try to define a single piece of lore, you're met with retcons and otherwise countless interpretations. Well, apparently one retcon according to Scott. And this is where the questions really began, back in FNaF 2. In FNaF 2, there are 4 Atari-style minigames, similar to what we'd see later in FNaF 3, and this was the first time they'd ever appeared in the series. The games are Give Cake, Go Go Go, Give Gifts, Give Life, and Save Them. Each one had a random 10% chance of appearing after you died to an animatronic, and each held crucial details that helped build the early foundation of FNaF's story. Starting with Give Cake, we see Freddy or Fredbear inside the restaurant handing out cake to children when the purple guy, William Afton, appears outside. One of the children becomes his victim, leading to the puppet's jump scare. This moment is later confirmed to have shown Charlotte Emily, Henry Emily's daughter, Henry being one of Fazbear Entertainment's co-founders alongside William. You can even hear the phrase "save him" faintly in the background, a small detail that adds to the tragedy. And while there's been debate about how this lines up with Charlotte's story, her identity was confirmed in Pizzeria Simulator ending, where it shows this exact same minigame. There's a lot more to explore with that timeline, but for now, let's stay focused on how it all ties back to FNaF 2. The second minigame, Go Go Go, focuses on Foxy running out of Pirate's Cove to attend birthday parties. However, after 2 to 3 repeats of the minigame, Purple Guy appears in the corner, revealing that all the children were killed. Throughout the timeline, there are multiple incidents where children fall victim, but this minigame represents the 5 children who went missing, the same ones we learn about in FNaF 1's Missing Children report. This adds up as at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 on the check, it shows the dates being 1987, which is obviously a precursor to FNaF 1. FNaF 1, the phone guy mentions 1987, the timelines add up. Moving on, the next minigame is Give Gifts, Give Life. And in this minigame, the puppet brings gifts to the lifeless children, the souls claimed by William Afton, essentially giving them life by attaching their spirits to separate animatronic mascots. A 5th child then appears, triggering a Golden Freddy jump scare, leading us to assume that Golden Freddy was the 5th victim. And finally, we have Save Them, the 4th and final minigame. Here, we control Withered Freddy, wandering around the pizzeria and uncovering a second set of murders. The minigame has a 1 in 3 chance to end every 30 seconds, and there's a 1 in 25 chance for Golden Freddy to spawn when entering a room. Even more terrifying, there's a 1 in 100 chance that William Afton will appear at the opposite end of the room and move straight towards the player, and if he ends up touching Withered Freddy, static engulfs the screen with a chilling message: "You can't." But the secrets don't stop there. Even during regular nights, rare events can occur. Shadow Bonnie or Shadow Freddy may appear, one even being able to crash the game. Paper Pal can show up in your office, and JJ, Balloon Boy's counterpart, can appear under your desk. Occasionally, death screens similar to FNaF 1 will appear, like animatronics with blink eyes as well. These small details may seem minor, but they add layers to the lore and give fans creepy Easter eggs to discover. Which, in the end, I am all for. It's what makes FNaF FNaF, and it's what makes everything amazing. All in all, FNaF 2's gameplay, animatronics, and mechanics come together to create an intense, chaotic experience. But understanding the minigames really cements why FNaF 2 is such a perfect sequel to FNaF 1. Thank you so much for watching. If I missed something, make sure to let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, consider checking out my last video where I break down why FNaF is a masterclass in horror design. As always, I'm Jeeps, and I'll see you next time.